Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Saturday the 12th of August 2023. In today's Millwall news, it was match day today, big match day, memorial game for John Belson, the first home game of the season. It turns out that the crowd was, I think, an historic home league record crowd. Beat the record that was broken last season for most fans at a Millwall home league game. And of course, it turned into a big letdown. Not only that, but last minute letdown. The worst letdown that you could have, the last minute letdown. This is the match report from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall 0, Bristol City 1. The visitors won it late to inflict a sickening defeat on the Lions. Boy, it wasn't a surprise, though. It was coming. Shot after shot after shot after shot, which they kept putting wide. They had to get one that was on target and put a win in sooner or later. Matty James scored a spectacular winner deep in stoppage time to inflict Mill's first league defeat of the season. It was a sickening late blow for the Lions after an uninspiring 90 minutes and neither side looked like winning. Are you sure? Did you not see Bristol City having shot after shot after shot? But James' acrobatic effort after a long throw won it for Bristol City to launch their season after last week's draw with Preston North End. Both teams struggled to create clear-cut chances through the afternoon in the first home match of the Lions season. For the late winner, the afternoon's most memorable moments had come before the ball was kicked with moving pre-match tributes to John Belson, Mill's former chairman who died in a car accident last month. New chairman James Belson, John's son, took his family out on the pitch before kick-off and was greeted with a thunderous round of applause. Mill also played a video to honour Belson, who died at the age of 70, ahead of the match. After the emotional opening to the afternoon, the match itself failed to provoke many feelings beyond frustration and eventually gut-wrenching disappointment. And in contrast to Tuesday night's fast and furious start against Reading, this one began very slowly. The pre-match tributes had the stadium roaring with life before kick-off, but the volume fell as the first half went on as both sides struggled to construct convincing attacks. The visitors were having more of the ball but lacked penetration over the opening half hour, despite striker Naki Wells looking to pounce whenever he received the ball. For Millwall, the problems were the same but also different. While the Lions did not look like threatening goalkeeper Max O'Leary, small flashes were visible that suggested they were just a pass away from success. They almost broke through on the counter from Bristol corner, but Duncan Watmore was held back clearly by Joe Williams, earning the midfielder a yellow. The best move of the half had come a few minutes before when Watmore whacked the ball across Danny McNamara. Zion Fleming dummied the pass toward him, and suddenly Watmore burst into the box. But the 29-year-old shot was blocked by Rob Dickey. Bristol City grew into the half as it went on. Their best opportunity came from a corner that was swept towards the back post by Matty James. Mark Sykes' initial effort from close range was blocked by a throng of Mill bodies, while Wells' follow-up was deflected wide. The away side also had a strong claim for a penalty 10 minutes before the break. The ball was popped forward for the active Sam Bell, but he went down inside the box after appearing to be clipped by McNamara. Neither team found much inspiration in the second half. A new goalkeeper, Khadija Sarkic, having not had much to do against Middlesbrough last week, was again more of a spectator until the end. Both Gary and Nigel Pearson turned to their benches to try and trigger their sides into action. Subs Anis Mehmeti left home fans fearing the worst as he cut inside, whipped an effort just outside the post. Frustration was growing at the Den, but chances were in short supply for the Lions. It was no surprise then to hear a buzz of excitement as Gary Rowett threw on last week's game changers, Romain Esse and Adomi Omeka with 10 minutes to go. It looked for a second like SA80 might be involved in the fairy tale ending again after he was fouled on the edge of the box. Fellow sub George Saville hit a free kick with Solly Rooms of save low down to his left before McNamara's follow-up was fluffed out. Mill did not take their chance. Bristol City did. Yeah, that was our best chance of the game. It wasn't even a clear-cut chance. It was a half chance. And it came right at the end of the game. That was our best chance. Deep in stoppage time, the ball fell for James in the box after Millwall failed to defend a long throw ineffectively, and the midfielder scored a wonderful acrobatic effort, sending the away fans into meltdown. It was Bristol City's first and only effort on target in the entire game. Yeah, but they had many efforts that weren't on target. The starting 11, no subs apparently. Sarkic, Hutchinson, Cooper, Wallace, McNamara, Billy Mitchell, Denor, Brian, Fleming, Watmore, Nisbet. The subs aren't listed here. The attendance 20,591. Is that accurate? I don't think that is accurate. I've seen a number lower than that. Pretty sure that would be impossible. That many people. So I'm not sure about that. Moving on to southwarknews.co.uk. Some post-match comments. We lacked energy and spark. Millwall boss reflects on disappointing Bristol City game after John Berylson tributes. It was the first league game of the season then, but things did not go to plan. Well, it depends what your plan was. To try and defend for 80 minutes and then bring some actual attacking footballers on with 10 minutes to go and try and steal the game at home. Garrett has expressed his disappointment in Mill's lacklustre defeat to Bristol City following the stirring pre-match tribute to John Berylson. The Lions failed to get going in the game that saw huge chances before Matty James' brilliant winner deep at stoppage time. The afternoon had begun with moving pre-match tributes to Mill's late chairman John Berylson, who died in a car accident last month. And while Rowett believed the pre-match events and games were different things, he admitted he was disappointed to lose on such a big day for the club. He said, I don't think you can necessarily attach the two. I didn't see a lot of it, but I can imagine it was absolutely wonderful tribute to John. Certainly, I thought the minute applause was accurately done by both sets of fans, and it was nice to see the atmosphere was brilliant. And I think as a manager, you want to use that little bit. I don't think you can necessarily go out on the pitch and perform brilliant because we've had a minute's applause. I think they're two different things. I just thought we lacked energy, a little bit of spark. It was a bit of a nothing game. I think Bristol would have been happier coming here and having a little bit more control of the game. They didn't create too much. I think they had one shot on target, and we didn't have a lot more. I think 2 shots on target. I don't think either team created an awful lot of clear-cut chances. But I think that was the disappointment of the game, really, having performed so well against Middlesbrough last weekend for me. You've just got to go and scrap that long throw and make sure you see the game out and walk away. And at that point, you sat there with 4 points and there's some positives to say from it. It was disappointing, particularly disappointing in some way, because even though I'm separating the tribute and the match as a manager, you feel responsible and you want to win the game. John's family's here to have a positive experience. So you wanted to win the game, but you were happy walking away with a 0-0 draw after playing fucking dog shit. Okay. That's one way of putting it. Here we go. More post-match comments. They might be the same, they might be different. I haven't checked them yet. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, South London Press's online website. Gary Rowett was left disappointed by Mill's performance after his side were beaten 1-0 by Bristol City on a day on the John Berylson. The Lions paid tribute to their beloved former owner and chairman for the match. A number of tributes, including a touching video and an impeccably observed minute of applause, all took place in front of Berylson's family, including the club's new chairman, James Berylson. Mills slumped to a dismal defeat at Den, though, courtesy of a last scarf strike from Bristol City captain Matty James. And while Rowett was keen to keep the game and the pre-match scene separate, he admitted the final outcome stung an emotional day in C16. When he was asked about the tributes and the result, Rowett said after the game, and yeah, it's basically it's the same. Yeah, it's basically the same quote that I just read you from the Southern News story. There's a few more lines here though. We made quite a lot of changes to see if we could freshen it up. We didn't really make a lot of difference, and that was the disappointment of the game, really. We should go and win the first header. We had it down, and James is unmarked, and even though he was marked a few seconds before that, you've got to do your job in those situations. Show a little bit more aggression as a team. If you don't, then you're always liable. You switch off for a second in this league, it's game over. So yeah, it's basically the same with a few more lines. Same old, same old. Now, let's play a game. When do you think this season, so like last season, Gary Rowett's gone back to his formation that he wants to play. which doesn't work. And not only does it not work, it is absolutely dire to watch. It means we don't create any chances up front, and we get run through in the middle of midfield because there's not enough bodies in the middle of the pitch, and our high pressing game doesn't work because there's no one up top to do the high pressing. So, what game do you think the penny's going to drop in his head, or the players are going to get together and speak to him and say, look, can we stop with this fucking shit formation? Obviously Norwich City, that might be a bit of a tough one. It's on Sky Sunday lunchtime, next Sunday. Sell out Millwall crowd. The fans are up for that. A lot of sick tickets sold. We sold our initial allocation and taking more, even though the game's on Sky, and you can stay at home and not worry about all the travelling and that. But the fans are up for it. They're going for it. So, but Norwich went to Southampton today and they scored 4 goals in a 4-4 draw. Yikes! They must have had 4 shots on target then, huh? That's probably more than we've had all season so far. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be that one. I think maybe the Leeds game. Oh, definitely. I think what's going to happen is the players might lift up themselves for the Leeds game. Leeds aren't utterly dynamic. They have weaknesses that can be exploited. But I think maybe this short turnaround between Sunday and Wednesday, and that Wednesday game, if we lose at home to one of the worst teams in the league, Rotherham United, playing this shit formation, then I think that's when the shit's going to hit the fan and the penny might drop, and Gary Rowett's going to have to sort something out. And I think is that generally. I think later he took longer last season to drop this stupid formation and change it again. I think it was into October, wasn't it? The Blackburn Rovers game, that was absolutely dire. Blackburn away. So we'll see. But so up to that Rotherham game, that will be the 8th game of the season. And by then we could probably find ourselves near the bottom of the table. And you've got to think after 8 games, like, it's starting to come together. So we will see. But yeah, when do you think he's gonna drop the formation this year? And why does he keep going back to it? Why does he keep doing it? I don't know. It's utterly bizarre. It's like a dog with a bone. He seems to have maybe suspected that the reason why we didn't get the playoffs was because he did change formation. But the only reason we actually got up into getting near the playoffs was by changing the formation. Like, if we carried on the way we were going, we would have been in the bottom half of the table. Because we were more attacking, we scored more goals. If you attack more, you defend less. If we've got a shit defence, attack more. You've just signed Scottish national striker Kevin Nisbet. You've got Fleming, you've got Maku, you've got Esse, you've got Watmore. Scary players when they're attacking. But instead of doing that, you're not. You're trying to defend with defenders who are a bit suspect, and it's not really working. Also, the Middlesbrough win on the opening day of the season. Well, Middlesbrough went away to Coventry yesterday or today, and they lost 3-0. So that may actually mean that Middlesbrough are dog shit, and it's not that we were good, it's that Middlesbrough want all that. So, I don't know. But yeah, probably around the Rotherham United game. If we lose that game, Gary Rowett's going to have to figure a few things out. This formation that he keeps getting back to and doesn't really work. Not only does it work, it's just awful to watch. Awful to watch. I don't know what the desired outcome is. Like, what's the plan? What is the plan when you've played this formation? because it's just not working. Really not working. So obviously, as was mentioned, the shirts that were in today's game have a unique embroidery in the middle of with the JGB logo in honor of John Berylson, and the profits from the shirt auction, they're auctioning off the shirts, and you can buy the shirt and contribute to the John Berylson Legacy Fund. Auctions close at 2 p.m. on Saturday the 19th of August, so you've got a week next Saturday. Click, hopefully it loads, and it doesn't. It's taking a while. So here we are. So at the moment, we've got Romain Esse, obviously. Player who seems to have a bright future ahead of him. £188. Looks like the highest bid. I think they're sorted. They're actually sorted by money now. So yeah, there you go. Do you want one of these shirts? It's 6 days left to get it, and so far total is £2,125. But yeah, plenty of time left. Plenty of time left. So there you go. Moving on to this. It's the same old, same old. We mentioned it the other day. The more things change, the more they stay the same. One thing that will be utterly eternal is Millwall shop being completely out of dog shit. And we have a statement here from the company that's now running it. Millwall's retail operator Fanatics issues statement to the fans. Millwall Football Club's retail operator Fanatics has issued the following statement to its fans. Due to a logistical issue at our UK distribution facility and a small number of orders made through the official online store are experiencing delays. All fans that have purchased merchandise through the online store and that are affected have already been contacted via email and updated on the status of their order. Fanatics appreciates that fans would like to be wearing a new kit as soon as possible and has worked hard to remedy the situation and to minimise any further delay. In the meantime, Fanatics would like to apologise to those fans affected for any inconvenience caused. If you have any questions regarding your online order or have not received an email but believe you may be affected by this issue, please click here for details on how to contact Fanatics directly. So yeah, apparently lots of issues going on behind the scenes. I think this may have been brought up at the fans forum, which is why we're getting this statement here. Seems that maybe Millwall have been on them and then they've come back and put this out. I don't know. I don't know if it's one guy or different guys or the same guy posting the same story, but he ordered something from Millwall. Obviously, Fanatics do the stuff for other clubs as well, like Southampton and Everton. He ordered a Millwall shirt, got a Southampton one, and then when he's contacting them, it's like just like shrugging their shoulders, like, well, what are you going to do about it? Like, I didn't order this. Can I get the thing that I ordered? But yeah, it's due to a logistical issue. What does that mean? But there you go. Same old, same old. Three certainties in life: death, taxes, and Millwall store being dog shit. Now we're going to finish with this from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall boss speaks out about the love of old school home stadium as the Den reaches anniversary. It's 30 years since the Lions made the switch to their current ground. Gary Rowett has revealed he loves the gritty edge of Den as Millwall ground reaches its 30-year anniversary. The Lions moved into the stadium after leaving the old Den in 1993, and it will host its first game of the Championship season today against Bristol City. Obviously, this was put up in the morning before this game. Millwall boss Rowett enjoys the old school feel of the ground compared to corporate stadiums elsewhere in the country. He told news at Den, "Oh, it's a great atmosphere in my opinion. It's one of the very few bastions of English football. But you still got that old school feel. A lot of clubs in general have moved to new shiny stadiums that have real corporate feel to them, whereas ours still has that gritty edge to it. And that's thanks to the fans that make that atmosphere. If you look at last season, we had record crowds and brilliant attendances, and even in games where we didn't have a full sellout, the atmosphere was electric, and that's what we need, and that's what we want. And it certainly helps. I think the fans played more than their part in that. He's been a great 3.5 years to experience the atmosphere. Mill had the 8th best home record in the Championship last season, winning 11 of their 23 games. So short and sweet. There you go, a quote from Gary Rowett about Mill Stadium. And I don't know if he ever played at the old Den, but compared to the old Den, like he's saying, oh, this ground's a bit ropey. It's not like all the brand new shiny ones. I think our stadium was the first new all-seater stadium after the Taylor report, which came out after Hillsborough. So we were like first ones charging in, and we made a number of mistakes, namely not filling in the corners and having like a square ground instead of a bowl. We've seen all the other clubs come in and do that. Obviously, I'm not sure why that was. Probably the location. If we would have went out to the M25, would have been a bowl, and a lot of clubs have moved way out of town, and it's just bizarre. And you just got this thing plonked out in the middle of nowhere. You've got to schlep all the way out there. The whole town and all the away fans have got to get into the town and then travel all the way out to the outskirts of the town, or even further. And it's just bizarre. Namely, like Reading and Leicester and places like that. But yeah, well, I'm saying, like, I don't know if Gary Rowett's ever played at the old Den. This Den, compared to the old Den, is one of these corporate stadiums. Like, it's massive improvement on the old ground in terms of the facilities and whatnot. Like, this is not even comparable. So, I mean, yeah. I guess I don't know. It does kind of feel like an old. I don't know when you go around to other grounds. Does have that kind of feeling of like. I wouldn't say non-league ground, but like a lower league ground. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard for me to compare because I've being a Millwall fan, going to the Den. When you go to other grounds, it's not the same. You don't really compare it. It's like, oh, this is a different place here. So it's kind of hard to compare them, given that you can't be objective. You're subjective. So I don't really know. I guess you'll have to ask maybe like a journalist or someone like that who goes to grounds for a living or something like that, or one of these people who does the 92. And maybe they could give you an opinion of what the Den's like and how it compares to the other grounds. Because actually, like the Den's the Den to me. It is what it is. Obviously not not the same as the old Den. Um, the old Den was a lot rougher, but that was part of its charm, and that's what made that unique. And I don't think you really get that at this ground. You kind of need the fans to be up for the game at this ground, to fill it, to be loud, um, to get that kind of atmosphere there. Yeah, I don't know. But there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.